Hi everyone. Today I'd like to share a few things with you that I learned about movie props when I made my first short film. And one of the first things I learned was just how incredibly time consuming it can be to make movie props. And I found that out firsthand when I made this. It's supposed to be a 125-year-old journal. It doesn't look like much, but you'd be surprised at how many hours I invested in crafting it. And the thing is, I really don't regret 1 minute I spent on it because it was very key for the storyline of my film. And if it didn't look realistic, the whole movie would have kind of fallen apart. Now, having established that it takes a great deal of effort to try and make realistic props, I think there's one other thing you really need to keep in mind, and that is whether it's necessary to actually have a particular prop in a film. And that might sound like an obvious question, but it's not always the case. And again, here's an example. In my film, there's a scene. My character is trying to do some research and find out about the young woman who wrote this journal. And someone's told him uh, about a local library that has some old newspapers that just might have some information. So he goes there to do some research, and there's a scene where the librarian actually brings out a stack of newspapers and places them on the desk in front of my character. And I was getting ready to film that scene, and I started doing some research. Okay, how am I going to come up with a stack of old newspapers? Because if you stop and think about it, newspapers that are 125 years old, they look much different than modern newspapers. And the next day, the light bulb actually went on for me, and it occurred to me the newspapers really are not important to the story. If you've watched my film, you'll know why. And I thought, what if the librarian just brings out a box that the newspapers are stored in and sets that on the table? And here, let's take a look right now at how that scene looked in the film.
This should get you started.
Great, thanks. Well, there's a couple of things that you need to keep in mind, both when you sit down to write a screenplay and when you actually get ready to translate that screenplay into a film. That's it for right now, and I hope you have a good day.